Hello and welcome to erpwebtutor.com. This is Arideep, and in this video session we will give you an introduction to the Oracle eBusiness Suite's the payroll module. This will be followed by a series of hands-on video tutorials where we are going to show you the actual hands-on configurations that are performed by a payroll analyst. So in order to implement payroll, it is necessary for an enterprise to implement the complete core HRMS module. And for the hands-on tutorial that we will show, we are going to use our existing core HR setups. So you can definitely take a look at the core HRMS setups in our website at www.erpwebtutor.com. And let's begin this introduction, and we will see that the very first thing that we need to understand before we start doing the hands-on. So the first thing we need to understand is why we use Oracle Payroll. So Oracle Payroll is a high-performance graphical rules-based payroll management system that is designed to keep pace with the changing needs of your enterprise and workforce in order to reduce setup costs, administrative time, and processing errors. So we will talk a little bit in details when we come to the following points, and we will explain what we mean by those terminologies. Oracle Payroll, it provides a truly integrated system where both HR and payroll can genuinely share information. So by this, what we mean is that if you have one system and you have all your HR related information in that system in Oracle, and then you have Oracle Payroll, you can avoid entering the information twice. Oracle Payroll module can share the information that is already entered in the core HR module. Again, it operates globally and consistently in many countries using a highly scalable processing engine designed to make use of the features of the Oracle database for parallel processing, resulting in optimal performance. So I can give you a few examples, like Oracle Payroll has been successfully implemented in many companies throughout the world. Oracle has the payroll process designed for the United States, Canada, the UK, many of the Asian countries, and also in Latin America. Now let's talk a little bit about what we mean by this is a rules-based payroll solution. Now, your company's unique payroll management requirements, that demand the ability to configure some kind of a payroll solution without losing the benefits of a standard supported package. Now, Oracle, as I said before, that it is a standard package solution, any ERP. But Oracle Payroll provides a unique data-driven approach that enables you to define and manage your diverse payroll requirements. With Oracle Payroll, you can quickly and easily process payrolls based on the frequency required by the organization. So what I mean by frequency is that the company can have a weekly payroll, they pay their employees every week, a bi-weekly payroll, like semi-monthly payroll or monthly payroll. So, and if you need to recalculate the payments during the run, you don't have to, for one individual, you don't really need to, reprocess for everybody. You can just do it for one individual or a couple of individuals. And then you can also generate your online pay calculations for those one-time payments. If you have a large worker populations, the Oracle Payroll system allows for grouping multiple employees and to be processed simultaneously. Thus, you can shorten your processing time. And Oracle Payroll also allows for concurrent post-payroll reporting, which means that once the payroll calculation process completes, you can process payments, post-payroll reports, and costing transfers to the GL, everything at the same time. So the next thing is, it is an innovative compensation plans. It supports all your innovative compensation plans. Now this, in today's rapidly changing competitive workplace, you need to motivate your employees with innovative and attractive compensation and benefit plans. So Oracle Payroll is fully integrated with Oracle's what they call the total compensation workbench, you know, and then its approach towards the entire compensation and benefits section of the company. So, you can use Oracle's powerful engine for the eligibility and life event detection, which are being used for the benefit purpose. From salary, overtime, all the union deductions to company cars, health insurance benefits, company pensions, every aspect of your company's human resources can be managed by the Oracle Payroll's total compensation workbench. So that's a really plus point for a package solution. Now the next thing is it is extensible and efficient administration. So Oracle Payroll, its comprehensive personal information is readily available, and using standard product features, you can extend the database to accommodate your unique information requirements. So it is highly extensible. So you can add your own touch, the company specific information or company specific stuff in Oracle Payroll, and you can integrate that. Oracle Payroll maintains it's a single data repository, so you can eliminate duplication and reduce data entry time, and that way you can pretty much streamline your administration. And then we say it is trusted accuracy and security. So Oracle Payroll provides a trusted solution to the inherent payroll requirement for accuracy and security, because those two are the key things. In any payroll, in any company, when you pay somebody, if there's something wrong or the data is not secure, it can have significant impact. So those two things are, highly maintained by Oracle Payroll. So all the information you need to check and reconcile your payroll is available easily and efficiently, and more importantly to the appropriate people, so you can enforce some kind of security on the kind of data access. So there's a number of control points in the Oracle Payroll module, from the security discussed above to the exception reporting. The exception reporting will alert you, if there's any out of the ordinary conditions that has happened. It will give you an alert. You can run reports, and those information will be readily available to you. Some examples I would say that include who had like gross earnings but no net earnings, or some kind of irregularities in their payroll run. Those will be easily captured and you can easily fix them. So we move on to the next point, which is controlled payroll cost. Of course, if Oracle Payroll gives you online access to your payroll information, so you can track and monitor all your employee labor costs, which is often your organization's highest expense. That's a lot of money when you have a lot of employees, and you can track those. So that's a very good point that Oracle Payroll has. So you should consider that factor when you're trying to sell Oracle Payroll to the client. Now the next point would be the integrated set of applications. As a part of Oracle's e-business suite, Oracle Payroll is fully integrated with Oracle's financial modules, the Oracle GL, the subledger accounting, and Oracle cash management. So this integration, what it does, it allows you to standardize and automate processes and rationalize the systems. This will increase your operational efficiency. So the subledger accounting that Oracle brought in for the finance in the finance module, that allows multiple accounting representation for a single business event. That will resolve conflicts between the corporate and your local fiscal accounting requirements, and that retains the most granular level of details in your accounting model, with different summarization options and all kinds of stuff. And your general ledger, that will allow full auditability and reconciliation. This, of course, is going to increase the transparency and enables the full audit ability of every transaction and all your accounting data. So Oracle Payroll also supports the single bank model. This model provides flexibility in configuring and reconciling all the payroll disbursements without really impacting the payroll payment model and its seated configuration, by the legislation or even the customization by the customers. The bank account that is used within other Oracle products, such as payables, receivables, cash management, those can be shared across the modules. That will help you, especially if you have your cash management module. If all your bank accounts are centralized, that becomes a lot easy to maintain. And the next piece, which is your paperless payroll processing. So with Oracle Payroll and Oracle Self-Service, your employees have the capacity to make their own updates to their payroll-related information. An example would be they can update their dependents, and they can change their whatever number of deductions at the federal level, at the state level. So this cuts down the transcription errors. Otherwise, what happens? The employee comes down with a piece of paper saying that he's going to add a dependent. He's going to change his number of deductions for the state. So all those manual processes can be completely eliminated by this Oracle Payroll processing and the integration with the self-service. And then Oracle Payroll self-service components, you can maintain the personal details. You can have your direct deposit bank details, so the employee can change their checking accounts, whatever accounts they're gonna get their money into. If they want to split their money into checks and direct deposit, they can do that, and all those things can be done using the Oracle self-service modules. And then you can choose to configure your online pay slips, so that the employee can actually go in and see their pay stub for that pay period. The next reason for why we're going to use Oracle Payroll is another selling point is the continuous calculation engine. That lets you spread the payroll processing workload across payroll period, reducing both cycle times and the required processing footprint. So you can perform payroll processing at the beginning of the pay period, then as changes which might affect the employee's pay, which is occurring throughout the pay period. A continuous calculation automatically detects those changes and reprocesses those employees. So every time you run and there's a change in an employee, it takes into account those changes and adjusts the calculations accordingly. And you can schedule the frequency of this reprocessing to be every daily or every other day, weekly, or whatever your company's needs are. The next is the retroactive processing. That's another very important feature in Oracle Payroll, and you can make retroactive adjustments to employees' past earnings, deductions based on changes to pay rates, and that is a very common thing. When the employee had a salary change effective on a particular date, there can always be a delay in that information being actually entered in the system. And the employee, let's say the employee gets a raise on the first of the year, and then the information is entered in the system, like 14 days later. But employee is not going to listen to you if you pay him at a lower rate for those 14 days. You have to retroactively pay that employee for whatever number of days he is supposed to receive at a higher rate. So you can do all kinds of retroactive processing. And the next point is the complete payment history using Oracle Payroll's date track functionality. Now this is something that is very, very useful for Oracle HRMS module. That there's something called the date tracking. You can date track to a future date or a past date to see information as of that date. So you can examine the employee's payment history at any time. You can change your session date to a past to see earnings, deductions, associated calculations exactly as they were on that particular day. And then this date track history lets you view changes to an employee's record over any time period you specify. This also allows you to put start and stop dates on pay related information. So you can say, 2 weeks from now, this is going to happen. You can enter information in the future. So once we get to that particular date, the processing or whatever changes will take effect automatically, and then you don't have to worry about it. So once the history is no longer required, that might be an overhead to your database, that will grow if the company size is big. You can always, purge your unwanted data from the system. So these are some of the highlights of why we are actually we would tell the client to use Oracle Payroll. Now this is an example, or this is a small diagram of the pay period circle. What are the steps that we do? So it starts, and then there are data entry that happens. It can be in a different form. It can come from your time and labor module, or can be directly entered into Oracle Payroll module using the assignment element entries. So you can do regular pay once per pay period, data entry, and then you can also use batch process to process multiple employees at the same time. And then you have a cutoff. So you say that, okay, everything has to stop. All entries has to stop on a certain date. So if it's a bi-weekly payroll, and then you have 3 days to enter or correct the information, and so after 3 days there's a cutoff, and there's no change happening to your entries, and then you run the payroll, and then you run your prepayment process, which actually distributes the money that the net payment for an employee if he's breaking down into multiple accounts, if there's a third-party payment, all those kinds of things happening. And then you run the actual payment process, which pays the employee the money that he is entitled to, and also pays the third parties if the third party is supposed to receive any money. And then you run the costing information, and then finally you transfer those information to GL, and that will create your journal entries, and you have to import those entries into GL to create your journal entries. Now, what are the building blocks for the payroll module? So when you talk about Oracle Payroll, there are certain key things that is the foundation of this entire module. The first thing is the element. Now, what are elements? They are the building blocks for payroll processing. So in Oracle, every component of your paycheck is an element. Some examples would be your regular salary, your federal deductions, housing allowance, stock options. Pretty much anything that you see on your paycheck is some element in Oracle. The next thing that you need to be aware of is fast formula, because that is the engine behind, or the rules behind, the processing of these elements. Now, Oracle Payroll gives you complete control over your processing rules and calculations, and even the most complex ones. Fast formula, it is a very powerful way to model business rules. With fast formula, Oracle Payrolls is easy to learn calculation feature. You can quickly specify detailed payroll calculations using conditional logic and references to any human resources, Oracle Payroll, and advanced benefits or time and labor information. So you can refer those objects inside the fast formulas. So we'll have a separate session about fast formulas, but you need to know that in order to be a payroll analyst, an Oracle payroll analyst, you need to know fast formulas. You don't need to be a real technical person to write fast formulas. They are very intuitive, and of course for complex stuff you can refer, if you have your technical background, you can exploit that by writing some PL/SQL codes behind and make the fast formulas simple. But if you don't know it, there is nothing stopping you from writing fast formulas, because those screens you can pretty much write your own rules depending on the business. So these two things are the key for your payroll. Now The final thing is the prerequisites. So before we get into the configurations, we need to know that what we should be knowing in order to be a payroll person, before we can actually start configuring payroll. So let's take a look at this. So you need to have a good overall understanding of Oracle apps, such as the flex fields, the value sets. You have to create responsibilities. You got to create custom menus. You got to associate the security profiles and stuff like that. So that is extremely important that you start your basics. You get your basics right if you're trying to learn Oracle Payroll or any Oracle module as such. You have to have some idea about the Oracle apps. Next is you need to have a sound knowledge of the core HR module. That should be your starting point. So that's why on our website, the very first thing that you need to look at if you are looking at this video and you're trying to learn the Oracle Payroll module is that you need to understand what is happening in the core HRMS module. Even if some client is trying to purchase the Oracle Payroll module, it is necessary that they have to have the core HR module. So that's a prerequisite in terms of knowledge and also in terms of the product. A basic understanding of the payroll processes. This tutorial that we will show you will be related to the US payroll, but if you are trying to do payroll for your country, you have to have some understanding of what happens during your payroll processes. When you look at your pay stub, you have to understand how those numbers are coming up. So some basic payroll processes. That understanding is necessary for any kind of setups. Some understanding of fast formulas and how they work. Before you start doing this, try to get some materials on how the Oracle fast formulas work. You don't need to be an expert, and we will try to explain the fast formulas that we will be using for this demo. But it's good to have some understanding of what fast formulas are, how they are processed, and how you're going to use them. Of course, you need to have basic knowledge of elements. That word should not be foreign to you. So when you hear elements, you should know that what we're talking about in relation to Oracle HRMS and payroll. And last but not the least, you need to have the willingness to learn something new and different. This is just another payroll managing software. This is not rocket science. So you have to have the zeal and the enthusiasm to learn something new, and that will give you an extra mileage if you are an Oracle consultant and you're trying to add that Oracle Payroll to your resume. So finally, for more useful videos and tutorials, please do visit us at www.erpwebtutor.com, and thanks for watching.